the old farmer just pulled a fish out of his own pond, and it left the poverty relief reporters completely stunned, because they realized the fish was none other than the blue Crucian emperor salmon, more valuable than gold. But the old farmer had been raising them like ordinary fish, filling over a dozen ponds, and he would slaughter an entire pond's worth every single day. Turns out, his total assets had long surpassed that of entire nations. Anything he casually picked up at home was worth millions. Yet the old farmer himself had no idea. Even his own son and daughter thought he was poor. To avoid paying for his retirement in the future, they forced him to sign a severance agreement, so they could all go their separate ways. Watching his two children leave, heartbroken and devastated, he decided to hang himself to end it all. But unexpectedly, at this critical moment, the poverty relief reporters happened to witness the scene. After much persuasion from the reporters, the old farmer ultimately failed to go through with it. And when he heard they were here to help him out of poverty, and even planned to broadcast it live on TV, his attitude changed instantly. Not only did he let them explore freely, but he also prepared a whole table of farm-style dishes to treat them. At first, no one dared to take a bite, because the reporters were all from the city, and to them, the rural food looked no different from pig feed. They feared they might get food poisoning. The live audience assumed the food was unhygienic too, but the moment the male reporter took a bite, his pupils instantly dilated in shock. He realized that what looked like simple mushrooms in the dish was actually top-grade black truffle. Yet the old farmer had no clue what black truffle was, casually mentioning that he had an entire mountainside full of them. Hearing that their poverty relief subject was sitting on such treasures, the reporters couldn't believe their eyes. This stuff sold for over 10,000 per pound, but the old farmer thought they had simply mistaken it for something else, so he went straight to the pond, and scooped out another fish to prepare something even better for them. As he reached for the fishing net beside him, he casually dipped it into the water, and pulled out a fish. The host's eyes were instantly locked onto it, because at first glance, he recognized that the fish was actually a rare and protected species, an emperor turtle. But in the eyes of the old farmer, it was nothing more than an ordinary fish from his pond. Just then, the host noticed an entire group of emperor turtles swimming in the water. After a brief moment of thought, he decided to call Professor Wang, an expert in aquatic life. Meanwhile, the old farmer's two ungrateful children were watching the live broadcast, and suddenly realized that their father was not a poor struggling farmer, but a billionaire with assets worth hundreds of billions. In that instant, their eyes lit up with greed, and they rushed back home without a moment's hesitation.